if I was in Miss Wright's class.
And you had all those tabs, and you weren't doing and that wasn't work-wise stuff, she would tell you to delete a lot of them.
Whoa, why? Is there such a thing as too many tabs?
Yes.
Really? What's the number? Is this what they teach you in 3rd grade?
No.
Well, you tell Miss Wright that all of these tabs are mommy working hard, because it is hard doing everything that I do. And I have tabs for a reason, because I'm an adult.
I'm saying if you were in my class and you were like my age.
You know, this is why.
Did the live stream start yet? Because it can hear us.
It probably did. Yeah.
I shouldn't have asked that.
No, I think you were asking the perfect question. I just have to get this link to Mr. Vinnie.
Mr. Vinnie.
He is not a racist, which is the most important thing you can know about him. And this doesn't want to work. So instead, what I'm going to do, hi, everyone. So we're not starting just yet. This is my private, I put this on my public Facebook page. So the RTD is terrible and their executive board is terrible. And I'm going to send a link to my 2 co-hosts who are going to be joining me. Hi, as we listen to the RTD meeting, because they're really nasty in a way to... Yeah, people are watching us. You can see. Take that number and multiply it by 6, because we're showing this across 6 platforms.
Take 2 and
can you do that?
By 6.
Nope. That's not the number. What's the number?
18.
Yep. Multiply that by 6. Can you do that? They teach you that in 3rd grade?
She taught me how to multiply, but I don't think I
can
multiply 18 by 6.
Well, because if she told you how many tabs are too many, then surely multiplication's coming up too.
I know multiplication.
Okay. So you were asking me questions
about these photos.
These people. All right. So you don't know who that person is? If you know who this person is, raise your hand or put a comment, please, below. I can see the comments that populate here.
And when they pop up and you still don't know, we'll go ahead and show you the name on the back. Because she wrote districts from A to something. From A to something on the back of each one of these pages with the name of them or like initials.
Yep. So you don't know this person?
Hey, look.
Hi. She is not nice. That's right. This person is not nice. Do you know who this? You don't know who this person is?
It's Kate Williams.
Her name's Kate Williams. That's right.
Because I read it on the back.
On the back, yeah, she cheated a little bit. That's because you're smart enough to do that. Yay! So Kate Williams is the executive director of Denver Regional Mobility and Accessibility Board, which is a problem. She's also the chair of the board of the RTD here in Denver, and I don't think she thinks of herself as a racist. Most racists don't, unless they're holding a gun and they're like wearing a white hood and they're like, I'm in the KKK, pew, pew, pew. But that doesn't really happen anymore. That's in cartoons. The real life racists look like this. It's about what you do. It's about how you behave. It's about how you treat people, right?
Yeah.
So she's been a bad girl. This Kate Williams. Yep, Tess thinks I'm funny, or she probably thinks you're funny because you're amazing.
L-O-L.
That's a lot of L's. That means she's laughing really hard.
L.
Yep.
Usually only the 2 L's and the O, which is LOL, stands for laughing out loud.
I'm just saying, when you turn 18, you can use as many L's as you want. Right?
Noted.
Noted. There you go. But there are some things you can never say. Do you know who this is?
She's HRH, which stands for Her Royal Highness.
That's right. That's right. Queen Shontel.
District B.
District B of the RTD. Now,
she's black, but she's nice. Not me.
Okay, let's reframe that, because black, but she's nice. She's on a board with racist people, but she herself is not a racist. She has managed to stay really nice. I know you don't know her yet, but you'll get to know her. I know her. I'm telling you, she's wonderful. That's why we call her the Queen, or the GOAT, G-O-A-T, greatest of all time. It's weird, right?
Greatest of all time.
G-O-A-T.
Go.
But that's Shontel, and she goes hard in the paint for us every single week, even if you don't take the RTD. The reason that this is a really big deal is because she gets paid next to nothing for it. This is an elected position that takes a whole lot of time and a whole lot of money on her part, but she gets paid less than $1,000 a month for what should be a full-time job and to take the abuse of the people around her. Let's go on. Do you know who this is?
No, I don't. I don't know.
Her name is
Vera. I can't read that last word.
That's because I can't write real good. Mopid. We're going to go with that. She's District C. And she looks nice, right?
But she's a racist.
She is a racist. I don't know if she knows she's a racist, but she's a racist. If you, by the way, white people, I mean, I'm not coming at you right now, but I'm coming at some people. Take these lessons away. If you are not actively fighting racism as it comes around you, when it's in your purview, then yeah, you're a racist. You might as well be wearing a white hood, because sitting back and taking care of yourself while people are dying, as is happening right now in Denver, that's a problem. We all have better things to do, but I'm not going to ignore the people out there, right? Who's this? I mean, he looks like he's 12.
Bobby.
He looks like he's your age, right? He's really young.
He's Bobby.
Yep. Bobby from District D. He's brand new. We get to meet him tonight. Everybody hold your breath. Stop. I'm on the floor.
Is he nice or mean is the question.
We don't know. We're going to find out tonight. But we elected him, and Shontel, Her Royal Highness Shontel, said that we should elect him. And she got what she wanted, 1 out of 2. So we're going to see what he's like as soon as this meeting starts, and I can start amplifying her voice.
Here's the next one.
Yep. What? I'm not sure what that's in reference to, Tess, but bring it on. Here we go.
All right.
Can I have the next one?
Yeah.
Bring it.
Paul Garbage. I can't read the last word. District E.
Rosenthal. I like to say his middle name is Garbage. He's actually the trash man.
I have no idea about the wage. Something.
Inequity with RTD. Yeah, the wage inequity with RTD is pretty bad. It's really bad.
Just found you a few days
But also
ago.
it's important to know that not our city council representatives are paid over 6 figures to do what they do, and they should. It is a complicated job that requires a lot of meetings, a lot of information getting, and I'm perfectly comfortable with what they are paid to serve me, and why I'm also comfortable telling them in no uncertain terms to go themselves every time they do something I don't like. It's my job. They're getting paid a whole lot of money, and they can't do their job without my input. And all of you should remember that on Monday nights too. Now, the problem with the trash man, as I like to call this guy, is that he's a racist, which is a really big problem. Because he's a racist and he's a misogynist. That means he feels like he can speak to our queen, Shontel, like she is your age, because she's black and because she's a woman. And I guarantee he doesn't talk to white women the way he talks to her, or his own children the way he talks to her, because the way he talks to her is terrible. And that's one of the reasons why we have to amplify this phone call tonight, to make sure people behave differently. It's called the panopticon. When people behave differently when they know they're being watched. So it's our job to show up and make sure these people know they're being watched, so they'll be at least a little bit less racist.
Here's the next one that just popped up. Right?
Right? Yep. Did you see this one? You remember Aunt Anna? Yay! Thank you for finding us through Anna. She's absolutely amazing. I'm glad to know that you followed. Thank you for support of the conversationalist.
So
now,
here's the next one. And he is Bob Broom, District F.
Yep, Bob Broom, District F. F stands for... It's really bad.
Wait, F stands for what?
The word you're not supposed to say till you turn 18. Yep, that one. That's
okay.
Right. Okay. People should... Yep. Kids do deserve respect. I give this girl respect, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's because you're fun to be around, though.
And then this is the last... Wait, is he nice or mean?
Well, as far as I know, no one has really stopped anyone from treating Shontel like crap. So we have to assume he's mean. Until you've done things that protect Shontel, then you're terrible. And yeah, it's a spectrum.
Which one's Shontel again?
Oh, she's our queen. This one right here.
Okay.
just in case you guys are confused too. My kid doesn't know. I don't expect you to know more than my kid because most of us don't pay attention to the RTD. And if you rely on the RTD for transportation, funny enough, you're too invested. They're less likely to take your opinion seriously. I know, right? It makes no sense. You'd think that people who are the most invested would be the most listened to, but it works the opposite in our society. So it's our job.
Here's the next one.
Yep.
It says,
hit me.
Amazing.
Amazing. Anna. That's, yep. Oh, we love Miss Anna. You got to meet her at Denver Homeless Out Loud that day that you came with me to that encampment up by Maury Middle School.
With all those, with the tents.
Yes. That's right. There
Look
was
at
tents.
the camera.
You're live, RJ. People are watching you.
RJ. We are working on our something. I do not even know. Okay, and this is the last and final.
The final person.
Picture.
But it's not the last racist. It's just the last racist of this group tonight.
I'm saying final picture because that's the last picture. Yeah. It's Julian Bouquet.
Bouquet. I know. Somebody with a pretty name has to be so ugly. And a pretty face.
District G.
That's a baby face right there. That's like, I was like, he's on the RTD board? All these like geriatric people. Now there are more. I have 7 and Vinnie was supposed to have 7. But we didn't get a chance to run them over to him. So Vinnie Chant of formerly of A Plan for That Pod and local cannabis activist and policymaker. What?
I just want to do one more run through so everyone gets the name.
Okay, one more run through. Got it.
So this is the first one.
It's Kate Williams, District A.
Kate Williams, District A.
Head racist.
HRH. I was about to say VR.
HRH, Her Royal Highness Shontel Lewis of District B. Mm-hmm.
Then third one, Angie Rivera. I can't read that word. District C.
Correct.
Bobby, District D.
Yep. The new guy.
Paul Garbage something.
Rosenthal.
District E.
District E. The trash man. Mm-hmm.
Bob.
It's on Paul tonight.
Bob Broom.
Brown. Broom. Mm-hmm.
Broom. District F, which
right.
You guys know what F means. And I also know what it means.
Just because you're smarter than most adults.
Julian Bouquet.
Mm-hmm.
District
G.
What do all the letters in the district mean?
So we have actually 14 districts in Denver. Because we're so big. We're a big city where most people don't have cars, or at least didn't for a long time. And they rely on public transportation, meaning they don't get in cars like we do. They take the bus, or they get on bicycles, or they take the train that comes right outside our house. You see?
Because we're so close.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the reasons why we're so close.
And
public transportation is an important part of a functioning society.
And another reason we're so close is because Daddy has to travel a lot, and the train is one of the ways to travel.
That's right. We like the RTD. We actually, as a family, use the RTD whenever we can. But obviously, got a whole lot more invested in this when I came to realize how amazing Her Royal Highness is, and that she needed a little bit of help, a little bit of backup each week, when she would take time away from her family and her own beautiful kids to advocate for us and for the RTD itself.
Question.
What's your question? Bring it on.
I'll be on the meeting tonight.
What?
The meeting that you're having tonight.
Well, you need to go downstairs and do your homework and take a shower and put on your jammies and wash your face.
Homework.
Okay. But not because you left your computer at school again, right?
I didn't leave my computer at school, and I don't have homework,
Proud
remember?
I'm proud of you. I'm probably going to curse a lot because racists need to be told things very strongly until they hear them. And
while you're muted, you can probably just tell me when you're going to do that, and then I can get out of the room.
Yeah, no, I'm going to do it pretty much throughout the meeting. But I love you for wanting to be here, and we'll have ice cream after, okay?
But we don't have ice cream.
Yeah, I might have it delivered.
Oh, can we get it from Cold Stone?
I might send Daddy down there. Yay. All right. Give me kisses. I love you.
Wait, but what is this end?
I don't know. Pretty quickly if they start watching the live stream. Huh? It'll probably end fairly quickly if the people in the live stream, like this woman, start watching the live stream, which is what I hope they're going to do. Okay?
Are you going to end it?
Yes. That's enough. I love you. Go downstairs. I'll see you in a bit. And if you don't feel loved, it's because you're sitting next to my dinner. I snuggled you instead of eating it. So there you go. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. Yay. Someone might come back and join me if this goes for a while. Bye. I love you. Thank you for helping me explain who these people are and why this matters. Because like I said, you are,
There's only one in there that's really nice, and it's HRH. Right?
Yep, Her Royal Highness Shontel Lewis.
Shontel Lewis.
Yes. And who is this guy?
Garbage man.
The garbage man. That's right. Paul Rosenthal. He needs a bit of an attitude adjustment. We're going to hopefully give him one tonight. Yay. All right. I love you. Go.
And ice cream.
And ice cream. All right. So I've got the link over. Vinny, you should have this. Thank you, Anna. Vinny and Dr. Queen Beyonce Apryl Alexander will be joining me shortly. And if you're watching this now and you're wondering what's going on, all you have to do is click the link that I sent you and you will be in the green room for this and you can come in and join. So with no further ado, I'm going to go pull up the other meeting. So the other reason that I have these, and this is so important, is that they got a little embarrassed the first time they treated Shontel Lewis like crap. I cut it out. The first time they treated Shontel Lewis like crap. I responded by putting out a call to the community saying, we all need to attend this Zoom meeting and back Shontel. I live streamed it. I spoke with her before and after on the live stream. We shut that call down. They're not used to being watched. And we maxed out the number of people who could be in the Zoom. So rather than upgrade and put their faces to their names in these live streams, they moved to telephone. And I have a real problem with that. So Vinnie, Apryl, and I are going to let you know who's speaking and when throughout. We brought these people with us. And we've also got some old footage of things that Kate Williams has said in the past, just to give you an idea of how bad this can be. Vinny is running a little bit behind. He was going to do a cold table read of this with me. But pull it up, show you how deep. This is a deep rabbit hole. Shontel Lewis, Madam Chair. Kate Williams, thank you. Cuts her off. Director Lewis, may I respond? Oh, here it is.
Oh,
yeah.
Hey.
Oh, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you? Sorry to be late to the party.
No, you're not late at all. I don't think the party has started yet. I was just waiting. I understand that Shontel is going to be streaming. So I've been waiting for the. Oh, sorry, I got a feedback. I'm waiting for her information to be like, hey, here's the link. So I'm going to go look for it on Facebook really quick. Do you want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Very cool. Hi, everybody. My name is Vince. I'm at Vinnie Chant on Twitter. I'm a recovering journalist who's been in Denver for, oh my gosh, 7 years now, which is the longest I've lived anywhere in my life. And I'm really excited to finally be able to use my voice here in this city that I love and the city that I adopted, the way that I learned how to growing up protesting out east in Pittsburgh. And it's going to be fun to be here tonight. I understand that we're going to make a lot of noise, and I'm sorry in advance for how angry I'm going to get.
We're going to make so much noise, but I think you are the appropriate level of angry. We need all the angry we can get behind. So I'm going to send you a screenshot, and if you wouldn't mind doing a quick dramatic reading with me so that the people, while we wait for Dr. Alexander, so that people can see what they're dealing with. You be Shontel, because I don't think I'm capable of being that composed. And Kate Williams, 1 second. I'm going to text it to you.
I am here for it. I'm trying to get into the character of Shontel, and I don't think I have that much poise in my life either. But I'll do my absolute best.
Plus, she's so glorious that there are times tears come to my eyes. I'm like, I don't know how you did that, because I would just be straight up cursing. I would have devolved into a spiral of F-bombs, obliterating any credibility I might have had at the beginning of the sentence. for some of this stuff. Did you get it?
Yes, I did. Man, okay. That's
She does.
Okay, Director Lewis was 100% way more poised than I am going to be in this, everybody. Madam Chair?
Thank you.
Director Lewis, may I respond to some of these? It's hard to keep up with each of these and wait to the end. And so I'm asking if I can respond to these as others have been able to.
Director Lewis.
Would that be okay?
No, it's not. I think that all the directors have the right to speak. You have spoken first, and I think I'm going to go all the way around this time. And I understand that it's hard to keep up, but I think that you understand that everybody here has an equal right to speak at these meetings. And so
I was just asking for the same treatment of other directors who have had director-initiated action items. We've allowed them to respond to the concerns, and I just wanted to respond to the concerns.
You can respond to all of them after everybody has had a chance to speak.
Okay, I appreciate that, and I was just pointing out that that's different than we've done in the past when these items have come forward from directors. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Not in the meeting that I've run, so I don't know if somebody else has done it differently, Director Lewis, but in the meeting that I'm running, all of the directors will have an equal chance to speak. I gave you the opportunity to go first. Now, I'm going to call on all of the other directors, including myself. And when we're all finished, I would be happy to have you speak again. Thank you. Director Folska? And I promise you, that is how her tone changed. I watched that meeting, and I was like, and just in time, another HRH is here. Yay! Dear Beyonce Dr. Apryl Alexander, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey.
Would you like to introduce yourself very quickly while I look for Shontel's live stream?
Yep, I am Dr. Apryl Alexander. I'm an associate professor in psychology, specific forensic psychology at the University of Denver, and I'm also a community organizer with Black Lives Matter 5280.
That is amazing. That last part is so important because I feel like when we talk about being allies, we just need to be lining up behind you, following up little ducklings everywhere you go.
As much as possible.
Jax, how would Jax feel about that?
Jax is okay with that. He allows it.
This whole thing just became about your dog, I have to admit, for me. I'm like, the rage isn't gonna be the same, but because that's good therapy to have.
Yeah, he has a huge platform.
Wait till you see her Christmas card with Jax in that. Oh my God. I died. It was so good. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So while we wait for this meeting to start, because there's CPT time and then there's RTD time. Oh my gosh, God knows when it'll actually kick off. But can you mind telling us what a microaggression is? Because we're going to be watching for them and calling them out as they happen in real time. But so for the white people watching that are like, "Am I kind of racist?" Would you mind pointing out what a microaggression? What is it?
Yeah, in the psychology research, we define microaggressions as intentional or unintentional derogatory statements, racial slights, slurs that people are made that are causing harm to a targeted individual or group, often a marginalized group.
Okay, so if you're in a group of people who look like this, and the only person who looks like this is the one who is not allowed to respond in kind, that, for example, could be a microaggression.
That could be a microaggression. It's called a microinvalidation even.
Microinvalidation. Ooh, tell me more about that.
Yeah, microinvalidation erases the experiences of the marginalized group. So that colorblind philosophy that we're all created equal and we all have the same opportunities is a microinvalidation.
Could you tell me just briefly, because I know that you are much more well-versed on all things, because that's why you're the queen. What's the difference between this person and this person?
They're both black and white pictures, so I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is I call him the garbage man. You missed the intro with my daughter when I was introducing each of these people. This is Paul, the garbage man. Mm-hmm. Yep, from District E. Oh, yep. You know him already.
He's my district. Yep.
Is that unfair to call him the garbage man? No. Okay. So, and then this is Kate Williams. She's also white, and she is the executive director or somehow runs these meetings. And somehow, and this I find this deeply disconcerting too. She doesn't seem to know that it's illegal to block a constituent who can email on Twitter.
Mm. And that's a serious concern, and especially over the last 2 years, like Colorado's been on the forefront of leading the conversation in whether or not our lawmaker, it came out of our state house really originally when like lawmakers were blocking people on Twitter. Like it's a close to home thing for an elected leader to not be familiar with, and it's pretty disappointing, and paints a clear picture.
Well, that's one thing I think they both have in common. I don't think either of these people use Twitter, and am I being ageist when I say that? Is that a microaggression?
That is a microaggression, unfortunately.
Okay. There's been a microaggression and damn good shade.
What did you say?
The difference between a microaggression and damn good shade.
There's a fine line.
Okay. If I cross that tonight, I need you to call me out on it too, because I got to get better at all of this. No, I love you, babe. Oh, you stuck up, and I love you for it. I do. I'm going to curse a lot, and I need you to not be too close to it because you repeat everything I say. Okay, thank you. Put those earphones on.
Is it 4 or 5 houses away that they have to go to not be close enough to hear it?
I mean, they usually go downstairs in the basement, and that's about the only place anyone is safe. The neighbors moved though, so they're all safe. They don't have to hear me at all anymore. So, Director Lewis, does she start happening now? Here it is. All right. Watch that live video. And the live video, by the way.
So please do not be afraid to ride public transportation. When you do, follow the guidelines to ensure a safe trip for you and for others. Please wear a seatbelt, or bus, or train, and for a ride. Some of the provisions require that you do. And your release has been high face coverage by passengers on most secure RTD. Other agencies are reporting that up to 80 to 90% of passengers are on so the message is to get it out.
Is the echo on their end or is that on my end?
It's on her end. Because this is on the telephone. She's just holding the phone next to a microphone.
Okay.
This is the voice you're listening to.
Stay home. And medical attention, there are a variety of sites in our area. Thank you. I'm going to now take note of the direction of the meeting or the call to order. I will call you to take your attendance. Director okay? Present. Director Rome. Director Music. Director Chant. Here. Director Cook. Here. Director Anderson. Here. Director Michelle. Director not here. Director Lewis.
Present.
Director Rosenthal. Director Sloan. Here. Director Tidell. Director Whitmore. Here we are all day. I am Director Williams, and I'm also here.
Great.
Yay!
Comment form. We did have one representative on the agenda of the meeting, but it has been removed for consideration. So we have no recommended action. We will not need to take any motions on that or have it draft presented information. I think that the next thing that will happen will move to other matters. I have one other matter that I'd like to bring that I will explore to anyone else. According to a memo that I got from the mayor's office this morning, Girl Scout cookies will go on sale January 31st. Are there any other matters to come before this committee? Can't hear. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Well, you were all sworn in, our new 5 board members and our 3 incumbents 1 week ago to this evening. So welcome, you guys are old pros by now, I am sure. So as we move forward, I would be remiss if I didn't just talk a few minutes about how honored I am to be working with all of you, and that we represent the 3 million constituents
Who you've never met
voted in the institution.
and have nothing in common with.
Tonight,
Who don't ride the RTD.
in our country, and
That
I know
part.
people are feeling a lot of pain. But I have such tremendous hope in the creativity, commitment,
Oh, she's white.
really
And she's pandering out the gate, which was never a good sign.
good into the entire community. And I just wanted to start by thanking you and just reading something. Somebody gave me a little book a long time ago, and I'm not even sure who did it. But it is Life's Little Treasure Book on Wisdom. And there's a quote in here that's not me that I think is really great. And it's called Remember the 3 R's. Respect for self, respect for others, and responsibility for all your actions. And
I got
think
one.
for me, that's how I'm going to
She sounds like every substitute teacher I had in high school.
I just wanted
Right?
to say that
There once was a man from Nantucket.
is that our community is strong.
He told her to get right down and suck it. Oh, that's just
And
rude.
I think we're going to have a really...
MK, I'm going to smoke weed on your show. I'm sorry.
Do it.
It's black-owned weed. Everybody shop at Simply Period, please. Use the code Vince420 or Carry420 for a 1-cent joint. Support Carry Joy too.
I love it. No, I'll put all the links in. If you've got the broadcast, I'll put the links in there. Send them to me in the private chat, and I'll put them out everywhere.
Oh, hell yeah.
Buy black-owned whenever you can, and if you can't buy more black-owned weed, ask why.
It's a story.
It is. Vinny knows it all. So, fun fact about what's happening tonight.
I'm asking for your respect here. Shit, it looks like she just dropped off. You had something that you wanted to say?
Y'all got your $1,000 this month out of me.
I hear you're talking about me. I got cut off. Can you hear me now? We can hear you now. Yes, very quickly. Thank you. As I said out in the email today, thank you to the board for helping me and the board office for helping the accountability committee approve the report that we sent out last week. Very similar to the version that was rolling out, I think, in November, and I think again for the discuss with the people. Feel free to call me if you have questions. The process that has been transmitted to the legislators, and Senator Winter and Representative Gray will be sharing the bill with the co-sponsors. It is not back up. The legislature is going to gavel in tomorrow for 3 days, and then gavel out until February 16th, is what I've heard most recently.
I said
This
gavel.
will be a late bill, so it will go in February, and for the second session there, February 16th. Senator Winter has said that they will try to get the plan to get the proposed bill to us by next Wednesday, the 19th, so in the packet for the following week. And on the 26th, the accountability committee co-chairs.
There's an accountability committee?
Denise Jones We'll be sending it to the meeting, and we will be
Similar to the police precinct police.
So
I guess.
that's it. Just wanted
That's
to
like
give
the
that
Citizen
update.
Oversight
Any
Board,
questions
or is that like the Anti-Oversight Board?
Typically outside.
We don't need any oversight board.
Thank you for your introduction. Do any of the other residents have any questions or comments for the residents?
I got a comment. I need to call in.
Okay. Hearing nothing, our next meeting of the committee will be February 9th, 2021, at the same time and the same channel. And seeing no other discussion, I'm going to adjourn this meeting and directly to the finance committee. Hi, everybody. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I'll now call to order Finance, Administration, and Audit Committee. The time is 5:42 p.m. I would just reinforce that everybody connected to the call is asked to leave your phones and set reminders on silent. Just in case meetings are posted separately to website already recorded and are all on the practice program. Please note that under the current circumstances, the official meetings of the RTD Board of Directors are being held remotely in the interest of public health, safety, and welfare. During this time, meetings will be primarily audio recorded.
We brought you with us, don't worry.
Along with the unofficial minutes of the meeting will be posted as soon as practical on the board's website. Visit rtd-denver.com and scroll to the bottom of the link to the board of directors page. Also added board of directors on the main page. Welcome. Thanks for the suggestion on that last.
So after the call to order, we're getting to the main event, which is y'all racist and we need to fix it. And the argument has been Denver City Council. This is how I got roped in. Denver City Council only did a couple of meetings. We don't need to spend 25 grand on a consultant. Denver City Council's in a really good place. And I'm like,
Are you
BK Williams? You need to talk to me.
That the RTD Board of Directors adopt attached resolution number blank, the bond resolution authorizing the issuance of tax exempt and taxable refunding bonds, series 2021, parentheses fast track project. And I see that Dr. Hobb, Brandon Morgan, and Rich introduced Mr. Newman as well. First of all, I need a motion to approve. Do I have that? So moved, Director Williams. Second,
The only thing worse is when we don't process appropriately.
Williams and second by Director Chant.
Slap it.
All right, I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Todd, and I know you have some updated numbers to share with us in terms of the stage. Go ahead.
Yes, Madam Chair, Dr. Hobb, Controller and Acting Chief Financial Officer. Joining me tonight is Brandon Morgan, our Senior Manager at Investments. EJ Denver, Associate General Counsel of Melanie Snyder's Department of Health and Health issues, as well as Mike Newman. Mike Newman is Counsel at Hilltop Securities, who's our financial advisor. They are all helping us meet so much. So, without further ado, this action is to refinance through our debt issuances. RTD currently has $3.3 billion with a P in outstanding debt. The constantly look for opportunities to realize interest savings by refinancing debt. Much of this debt belongs to the fast track to both refinance and issuance on financing debt.
Yeah, this because it's a call-in show, which is why I had to bring these. So hence the audio issues. It's because Shontel is literally holding a phone up to a microphone. They've been trying to make all this stuff private. And we have to keep our eyes on them.
it sounds nominally better direct from Shontel's Facebook page, but yeah, it just sounds like garbage. And it makes me think back to when they were trying to do it on Zoom, and we proved that there was too much interest in it and crashed their Zoom room with too many participants, and they had to pull back, and they're trying to make it as inaccessible as possible now.
That was the best night.
That was so much fun.
That's what white privilege is for, right? You don't like how I use my white privilege, maybe you should take it away.
We're trying to enable exactly that.
Yes, you can stay right there, but you got to keep the headphones on, baby.
It's also demonstrative of like the cycle of apathy that they want to build into everything for us too. Like,
Yep.
I hate to cite the rise of the George Floyd and Breonna Taylor movement as a rise, because it's every summer it's 2 or 3 more names, unfortunately. But we're seeing them start to move these things forward publicly with the people watching at those high points. And now that they've made the process to the point where a director has to hold a phone to a Facebook Live for us to be able to participate, they want to repeal and pull it all back in the dark of night. It's that shady darkroom stuff that gave the authoritarian rise of Donald Trump, because everybody believes it, everybody does it. Here we are witnessing it.
Little do they know, if they do that, I might have to show up outside their home and hold a microphone up to the window. That would be weird. But I would do it. Just like, I'm just trying to understand how you're spending my tax money, because I'm a citizen and a patriot.
I will stay 6 feet away. I will wear a mask.
They intentionally make these things as inaccessible as possible, which the irony, want to guess what Kate Williams' day job is?
Communications?
She's the executive director of the Denver Region Mobility and Accessibility Center. Right? Just because you work at a nonprofit don't mean you're nice. And just because you've been a public servant for years don't mean you ain't problematic as fuck.
Just because you know their rhetoric. That just means you can weaponize it too.
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite thing to hear? What's the most recent microaggression that's been used on you, Dr. Alexander, when people didn't realize they were talking to Beyonce?
They happen so frequently, I just can't recall. Like, which one?
So with a drinking game, you'd be wasted before you got out of bed.
Right.
Just scrolling Twitter.
Well, I think for me, it is like those micro invalidations, the ones that erase the experiences of people of color. So everybody last week who was saying things like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened," when we told you this would happen. There have been examples that this would happen. Listen to Black women.
Right. Like when a bunch of white supremacists here, let me try something different with how I'm sharing this.
Here. Go around in alphabetical
Did that
order
help?
And ask, first of all, if you have any questions.
Okay.
Director Bouquet? No questions at this time.
Yeah, that's clear.
Thank you, Director Brown. No questions.
Was that shade or was that a microaggression? Because you're black, you can say it. Is it like the N-word? So if it's really crude, you can say it because you're the most oppressed?
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. All right.
It's just a hall pass.
That's why I will never get one. Don't need a privilege.
Thank you, Madam Chair. No questions. Director, thank you. Thank you. Director Lewis?
Nothing for me.
Here she is. That's her. That's her.
Director Rosenthal? Thank you and good job.
The garbage man.
Why is he the garbage man?
Why is he the garbage man?
Yes, thank you and no
I missed that story.
He's human garbage.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he's a man of garbage.
It's like you defer to the queen or else I stream the call and bring my buddies.
Director Williams?
He's the reason we've gathered here tonight.
Not to be confused with the dedicated public servants.
Correct.
Thank you, Chair Rivera Mafietti.
That, and but this woman decided that she could block a constituent and brag about it.
Like Vinnie said, that was just so high profile here that you're not able to do that anymore.
I mean, I think about Tay having to spend all summer literally figuring out how to legally block and mute and work around people harassing and giving him death threats to not be able to block and silence those folk on his public channel. Like, it's something that's been playing out here all summer.
Right.
I'm not telling you, we've gotten some death threats. And when they first started, they freaked my husband out. And part of the reason I married him is not just because he's delicious, but also because he's a great big white man who can do things that I can't and use, like, he can like call the police and they'll respond and do shit. Even still, they were like, yeah, we can't really do anything about a threat. So until a person has done something,
Right.
it's all fair game, and it's just horrifying. So
board members, just know that we are not adding the principal amount, we're refinancing the balance.
refinancing, adding to the principal, fuck it, whatever.
We're not adding to
Whatever. So what were you doing with Tay? I just think about like how scary it was for us. It had to have been infinitely more scary for Tay. He's not married to a big white man.
No.
Took a downturn unexpectedly, I think.
Can you talk about what you were filming today, or is that like super secret?
Oh, I mean, I did get to spend a little bit of time with Tay today. We're working on something that's going to come out in a couple of weeks. It's going to be pretty dope. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be very cool. I am happy to say that he's in high spirits. He was, eating lunch, enjoying life. It is still the fight that he wakes up for every day, and I'm pulling my inspiration from him because so I'm eager to let him speak for himself.
I've been trying to introduce him to Beyonce here because I don't know if they know each other. Because
we know each other.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we hung out all summer at different events.
Oh my gosh, I thought it would be rude to assume you knew each other because you're both black.
No, they happen to be two people who show up.
They still happen to be black before this summer.
That's an unfortunate fact. As much as it
Sometimes
is
you
a
have
microaggression.
gatherings by accident.
Catlin has passed unanimously.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, everybody. And let's see, next on our agenda is other matters. And I would ask, first of all, Deborah Johnson, our CEO and GM, if she wouldn't offer.
Did you share the
insight.
their rundown out publicly on your Twitter yet, Coach MK?
Very welcome, CARES Plus Fund.
For the rundown of this?
Yeah, like their schedule for tonight.
Madam Chair, thank you very much.
I did not, thank you.
Cool. I was gonna hunt for it too, but before I did, I was gonna see if you did.
Board members and all the are virtually assembled here this evening. It's my pleasure to provide some context as it relates to the recent announcement in which Secretary Elaine Chao made yesterday from the U.S. Department of Transportation as it relates to stimulus funding that was effectuated into law on December 27, 2020 by the President. Recognizing yesterday's announcement providing clarity to all transit.
I will mention while I look for it that I'm on the RTD Facebook page right now, and they are not streaming this meeting. They're trying to make it like they're not even like the little easy things that can obviously be done. They're not even trying to do.
They ain't even attempting it.
Mm-hmm.
Around $190 million, and in an effort to manage all of
There's not even a post today that there's a board meeting happening tonight.
understand and clearly
Makes me so
know
mad.
that it is
Yeah, the easy things. They don't have an event set up for it.
that money as the bill text intended, which is to have a laser focus on bringing about transit services more specifically geared towards those that are providing said service, i.e. the operators and frontline employees that are really our essential employees that are transporting essential workers. So with that context, wanted to share with all of you that my intent in my capacity as General Manager and CEO to ensure we're being good stewards of public dollars. That
You do that by making your board less racist.
as we assess where we are, recognizing that $190 million is a lot of money. When we look at it in context of our budget, it's really about $1 billion. We are going to make decisions judiciously. We're going to look at service holistically. And also, as we talk about frontline employees, as you all know, being the policymakers that put forward some difficult decisions relative to our financial shortcomings as related to our 2021 budget, we will be looking at other aspects of our service delivery model because, quite naturally, while we have frontline employees that are very critical, we also have other positions in the organization that enable those frontline workers to do their job. So recognizing that frontline operators have a higher level of care as relates to transporting people, it is our intent.
When did they establish their civil rights committee?
Employees back within a 30
Is it brand new?
I'm fascinated with this show.
Implications if we didn't as relates to training and things of the like. If someone has been out.
If you're in Allies to Abolitionists and you're watching this, when did the RTD establish their Civil Rights Committee? We need to know.
This week as relates to senior leadership team, and more specifically, I'll be working in close coordination with our acting CFO. So I can garner.
I also need to know when they really started caring about their frontline workers. Because the last meeting I attended, they didn't seem to give a flip.
With all of you, recognizing while we receive these apportionment tables, we still are waiting on specific guidance from the FCA as it pertains to how we would go about utilizing those funds. What would be the guidance and direction as relates to us drawing down on those funds? So I am happy to entertain any questions, but really appreciate the opportunity to provide clarity around this. I know there has been quite a bit of speculation and questioning as it relates to us being RTD going forward with layoffs, but please recognize
Black people.
that at the time in which
And women.
And the services that primarily impact Black people, the disabled, single mothers, or women.
After those decisions had been made. So at this juncture, I will use the floor and thank you for the opportunity to address all of you. And I'm happy to entertain any questions that anyone may have. Thank you, Jan. That's helpful and informative insight there. And so what I'd ask is, if you have any questions for Deborah Johnson, announce your name, please.
Looks like the Civil Rights Committee has been around for some time.
That's good news.
Really?
Yeah. I'm finding some stuff back to 2012.
Who knew? It's like, how long has the Jeff Ford show been on?
Have we already laid off some employees, and will some of those employees be recalled?
Thank you very much, Deborah Johnson, General Manager and CEO, Director Broom. Thank you for that question. Yes, basically the intent.
The Civil Rights Committee one, and the Accountability Committee too. I think I want to meet the Accountability Committee.
As stipulated in the bill text, that money is here just for that, ensuring that we continue with salary and benefits for our critical employees that are keeping this country moving forward with public transport. Thank you.
I'm just Director Rosenthal with a follow-up to that.
Please, go ahead.
So, thank you, Madam Chair. So, how does that work logistically? So these are not considered like new hires. Basically, like these operators were on furlough in a sense, that we're bringing them back and basically welcome back versus, oh, you're new. How does that work logistically?
Thank you very much, Director Rosenthal, for the question.
Look at you, Vinnie.
Yeah, that would be the garbage man. Let's build brands tonight.
Employees basically had been placed on administrative status. The reason being they were placed on administrative status was to ensure that we could provide them with salary and benefits stipulated through our effective bargaining with the Amalgamated Transit Union Local 10001. In order for us to do that, they still needed to be in the system. Hence my reference to ensuring that we bring them back within a 30-day time period so we can mitigate any other implications we would have to do from a safety training perspective with them being out of the those results? Okay, anybody else?
That's all I have.
Sounds like we're still waiting for some information, but one thing to note is that, as I understand it, those who have been laid off so far have been placed for the first period of time on an administrative. Is that correct, Ms. Johnson?
So Madam Chair, this is Deborah Johnson, Madam Chair. That statement is correct. They are technically in administrative status.
Pew, pew, ping, ding.
You're quite welcome. Thank you.
Daily double.
All right. Are there any other matters to bring before the committee?
Sorry, y'all. This is my first time to eat today. And I'm like, I'm eating all things.
This is your show.
Yeah.
You are the show queen, Dr. Beyonce. Did you see like one of her students addressed her that way on a Christmas card, Vinny? I'm making
I
it.
love it.
In an email even recently.
Yes.
We see everything on Twitter.
I mean, you know, it's like with my kids. When they ask me for something, I'm like, how do you ask? And they say, please, mommy, I love you, mommy. You're the best mommy in the world. Because I've trained them to say exactly that when they ask me for anything. Respect is not earned. It's commanded.
I'm going to send my daughter to your house for a little bit, I think.
Diane will have her straightened out. You just getting the broadcast. She's, man, I don't deserve that kid. She's so great. And we have not added you yet on Animal Crossing, Beyonce, because turns out it's not that easy. We had turned on all the parental controls. So we have to go to a desktop, which we never do. It's like, who's going to go to the computer to change the settings? So it's going to happen, but
It's okay. I haven't played in 3 days, and I'm really sad about that. Yeah.
how did that happen?
Got to do real work.
What?
Yeah.
For peasants? No, coach.
3 days. You make 3 days sound like 3 years, though. I don't play Animal Crossings, but it seems like once you're in it, you're in it. That's why I'm staying away.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you about a big Y word. Yes. Your daughter's what, 2?
She's turning 4 in March.
Let me tell you the difference between 4 and 8. Once you get like a 7-year-old, they start begging for things that you test out when their friend brings them over. And then you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want it too. We all play Pokemon Go now. And we're probably all going to have Animal Crossing accounts by the end of the month. Predicted. It's a cool game. There was actually a conversation the other night like, oh, I kind of like this Sword and the Shield. It's another Pokemon. I don't even like video games, man. We played Pac-Man. It's on our TV. There's this rabbit hole that opens up and swallows you whole. And you're about 2 years away from that, so enjoy the silence.
I will. I guess it's the bridge gap of silence between when I was playing video games incessantly and when she'll pick them back up. I will do Pokemon Go. I live next to a park, so I can play Pokemon Go.
Well, it's all changed. Remember, like you had to get a CD and put it in the desktop computer, which you were excited to run to play Doom.
Yes.
It's all over now. Back when, what was it? The Sims was the whoa.
Well, I was doing like Math Rabbit on like the big 3.5-inch floppy disks too, like all of that. Now they're too complicated.
Wait, I know floppy disk. I'm way older than you. I'm like a decade older than you. I'm like 2 older than Beyonce here. How in the world did you know floppy disk? You must have gone to an underfunded school.
Well, I mean, several of them, but I guess I'm also older than you might think I am too. Which, thank you.
I thought you were like 32.
Oh, I am 32. Yeah, they existed. I was just an early adopter, I guess.
There you go. Oh no, we were still using it. I remember we were still using them when I was in high school. I have a hard disk with my senior graduating thesis on it from Georgetown from 2000. That was like a big deal. I still have it. I'm never going to be able to retrieve it.
You might as well gold plate it or bronze it now.
Right? Talk about it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you know floppy disk. Like, did you ever play? You've definitely never, ever played that super duper white game, Oregon Trail.
Oh, to the point that like I still play the card game version now. Back when game nights were still a thing, it was like our cleanser game because it only takes like 5 minutes between the longer ones, where we all just like, hey, let's have a quick round of dysentery, and for the nostalgia's sake, absolutely.
That's what we say in Thailand. Quick round of dysentery.
Is there still a meeting happening? There it is. It was nice of them to give us that gap to talk.
Right. They're like, let's check out the live stream.
Hi, directors. Please do better. Many of you should step down and be replaced.
For real. Call ended.
Good evening. This is the Civil Rights Committee chaired by me, Shontel Lewis.
Oh.
I call this Civil Rights meeting will now come to order. We are convened as of 6:08 p.m. I would respectfully ask everyone connected to this call to mute your phones and set your ringers to silent. Please note that under current circumstances, the official meetings of the RTD Board of Directors are being held remotely in the interest of public health, safety, and welfare. During this time, meetings will be primarily auto-recorded. The auto recordings, along with the unofficial minutes of the meeting, will be posted as soon as practical on the board's website. Visit rtd-denver.com and scroll to the bottom of the page for the link to the Board of Directors page. Directors and members of the staff, for the sake of the record, if you would like to be acknowledged during tonight's proceedings, I would ask that you please announce your name and wait for me to call you before proceeding to speak. Speaking out of turn will only add confusion to the record and to the proceedings. Please note that at the appropriate time during our discussion and voting processes later on this evening, I will call on each director in turn, so please know that your time to speak will come. And if possible, please hold your comments until that time. It looks like we only have one recommended action on the agenda, and so I'll just dive in here. Our first recommended action, it is recommended by RTD Directors Lewis, Deschelle, and Bouquet that the Board of Directors conducts quarterly Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, JEDI, workshops for at least 2 years facilitated by an outside consultant or facilitator at a cost not to exceed $50,000 over 2 years. Commits to soliciting JEDI feedback from constituents during telephone town halls and charges the general manager CEO to create a comprehensive plan for JEDI workshop throughout the agency. Do we have a motion? I have Chair Rivera Bapietti, and who was the second? Okay, I heard. I'm sorry, I heard you. Okay, I have a movement from Chair Rivera Malpietti and Director Deschelle. At this time, because it is a board-initiated action, I would ask Directors Deschelle and Bouquet to present any pertinent information regarding the action, noting that the action was included in the packet and directors have had time to ask questions. Directors and members of the staff, please state your name for the record each time you speak. And I will begin with you, Mr. Our Director Deschelle, if you would like to begin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Fellow directors, thank you for your willingness to engage in such a critical topic. To join this discussion, I've gotten to have with many of you about justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion, and the need to start with our own education. I will not be spending the time this evening going over how important this tested and ongoing learning is. Many individuals who have studied the importance of justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion work, workplace culture, and corporate boards have written on this much more eloquently than I could ever write myself or orient. Those materials were also provided to you in your agenda packet. Instead, I want to address one question that many have asked: what is this resolution doing? The purpose of the resolution is to accomplish three discrete items. One, commit to at least quarterly JEDI workshops for at least 2 years, facilitated by an outside consultant or facilitator. Two, commit to soliciting feedback from constituents on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion during telephone town halls. 3, ask General Manager and CEO Deborah Johnson to continue building on the work she and her team are already doing and propose a plan for system-wide justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion work. The first ask is at least quarterly workshops on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion to be facilitated by an external facilitator or consultant for 2 years who will work with our board to address our specific needs. If for this facilitator, consultant, or consultants, where up to $50,000 is allocated to the resolution to be spent over a period of 2 years. Until we go out to bid and receive this back, we cannot receive a reliable number for the total cost, and without a resolution like bid, we cannot go out to bid in the first place. The issues we are seeking to address, social equity, are by no means narrow. When you add how they intersect, be it through identity, power, system, or the resulting aggression, trauma, and hardship, they unintentionally create a complexity and nuance only grows. These issues that plague our society are not just our disease alone, they are systemic in nature. If we want to continue to grow and lead as an organization, then our workshops around justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion should also be a part of our systems. I use the word workshops intentionally. These are not training. It is not one and done. There probably isn't a certificate at the end that can go on a resume, posted to LinkedIn, or hung in your office. Equity work requires a constant effort on the part of the individual. I look forward to engaging in these workshops and learning and growing as well. The second app is soliciting feedback from constituents on justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion during telephone town halls. We cannot know where our blind spots are if we do not ask. Through genuinely engaging with constituents around this issue, it allows us to apply what we have learned and continue to learn in workshops to how we approach different policy decisions that we as a body make on an almost weekly basis. Third, the resolution asks us to
he's a new kid. I don't hate him yet.
Yeah, I'm trying not to be too snarky with his face right now. I'm like, I
continue to lead her team and build a
Floating face.
strategy around
As long as he's got Shontel's back, I got his.
an item she discussed in her interview process so that we can continue to move our agency forward. These 3 items are merely the first steps in an ongoing journey as we work within a system that we are seeking to make more just, equitable, diverse, and inclusive. This work will not be easy. It will require empathy, patience, critical self-evaluation, and trust. I look forward to joining with you all as we navigate the path ahead together. And with that, I give the floor.
Thank you, Director Deschelle. Director Bouquet, would you like to speak?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair, 4 board members. I want to start tonight by thanking my colleague, Director Deschelle, and Director Lewis for taking time to draft up this crucial proposal. I was honored that I was asked to be third co-sponsor on bringing this action to the board. And, I've heard multiple times this year that our
he has a MySpace picture as his headshot.
people work, people
Just a glamour shot right there.
Like 12. Is he old enough for this?
He cropped his aunt out of it.
Justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion for our community. When we're making decisions as a board, we need to always have justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in the back of our minds. This is what will assure us that we're making the right decisions that are beneficial, not harmful for our stakeholders, and of course our workforce. We need to invest in these workshops to not only assure ourselves but our community that we're making the right decisions. It would make the most sense that we as a board adopt that philosophy and to encourage this action. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield this my time.
Thank you, Director. I will now call on directors in alphabetical order to ask whether there is any discussion. Please have all of your questions ready when I call on you. Once we've cycled through all of the directors in the call, I will call for a roll call vote, and we will again call on each director in alphabetical order.
Here we go.
So now open the floor to the discussion. You're acknowledged, Director Busick.
Thanks, Madam Chair.
Sure.
I was wondering if there might be an amendment being proposed by Director Rosenthal.
Director Rosenthal.
The garbage man is Rosenthal, y'all.
Thank you. time.
I'm happy to entertain an amendment.
What you doing, Rosenthal?
Oh, okay. Thank you, Madam Chair. I want to be very respectful. This is my first real, RTD meeting where, we're really discussing something with a lot of people data. So I wanted to make sure to, propose things at the right time. So thank you for looking at me on that.
Procedure.
So first of all, I guess this is also my opportunity to speak. And I definitely have to say a huge thank you to Directors Lewis, Bell, and McKay for proposing this agenda item. As various speakers have mentioned, it is so critical that we look into how we actually implement every day. And we are on the board every day that people work at RTD to implement justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. Some of you may know I'm a teacher working in correctional facility now for the past 11 years. So I do my best to challenge myself, challenge my colleagues and my students to implement JEDI every single day. And so I look forward to this discussion tonight and to passing this proposal, this agenda item, hopefully with this amendment that I will propose. In terms of this conversation, I have to say it's been extraordinarily valuable already. Just leading up to tonight, plus the conversation we're having tonight.
I don't hear an amendment.
Plus the conversation, hopefully this measure will pass as amended, and we will look at it again next week. Plus the various workshops we'll be having. So in a sense, we're already doing exactly what sponsors have
Getting his whistle wet.
and my success awesome. So to that end, I propose and I move Amendment 1 to this agenda item. That has, by the way, been emailed to all the directors this morning.
What?
Director Rosenthal, can you, for the sake of the record, can you read your amendment so that those listening are able to capture that? And then I'd also like to hear first and a second. So if you could read your amendment.
Right. My husband
Sure.
wants to
Okay. So if you look at the agenda item, and under the memo, what I'll call a memo, it's basically a page and a half that directors have written. So after, so in the section on background, after the first paragraph, will be an insert. And the insert, one moment.
And we'll take one amendment at a time, Director
It's not
Rosenthal.
like a centerfold. Gonna insert.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I can't have one amendment, but if you would like to, and unless I'm just talking, my apologies for the delay. I expect to offer the amendment later. Okay, so here is the paragraph that comes to the third. And it says,
Pardon me, Madam Chair. Pardon me, Madam Chair, this is General Counsel Snyder, Melanie Snyder.
Melanie Snyder.
Proceed, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, may I?
Yes, ma'am.
I just would like a clarification from Director Rosenthal. So I just wanted to clarify whether your motion is to only amend the information that's in the body of the requested agenda item, or whether you are actually wanting to amend the main motion, which is under the actual motion section, given the motion that we're discussing on the floor right now.
We really need to check the motion of the ocean at this moment.
The directors of the board of directors adopt the plan detailed below. Is that part of your motion?
Oh my God.
I received an email from before that was from Director Michelle, and I believe that as it was stated tonight, the motion as, and I believe it's probably as modified. Is that correct? Is that new motion?
Did he not actually have an amendment?
I don't think so.
I feel like he's making it up on the spot here.
This is why he's the garbage man. He just brings it and dumps it.
This is called.
Okay.
He's trying to
So
time
in
this
that
out.
event,
Time it out. He's running the clock.
amended motion until 5:23 p.m. this evening. I believe that I have to amend the motion as well. And so it's up to the chair and Ms. Snyder as to how that might be done.
Oh my God.
This is why you let black women lead, because Shontel made him read an actual amendment into the record and he didn't fucking have one.
I'm also happy to entertain a motion. I just
white privilege?
wanted you to read that language for the sake of the record, so that I might capture that.
Yeah, he just expected them to say, sure, whatever you want.
Okay. So if I'm okay, so what I'd like to let's start off at the beginning, the motion itself. And so I move to modify the motion to read, it is recommended by RTD Directors Lewis, Michelle, and Bouquet, that the Board of Directors, one, conduct quarterly Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion JEDI workshops for at least 1 year, facilitated by
They're going to need more than 1 year.
consultant or facilitator. Or
Can we nominate you to be the facilitator, Beyonce? Yep.
at a cost not to exceed $25,000 over 1 year. And two, encourages JEDI feedback from constituents during telephone town hall.
Huh.
And
He upped the budget there.
charges GM CEO to create a comprehensive plan for JEDI work second.
Thank you, Director Busick. All right, so I have that. I've had that documented. I have
So basically, he reduced the
Director
frequency.
Rosenthal with a amendment to the main motion. I am happy to hear some discussion. Any discussion? We've already heard from you, Director Rosenthal. Director Busick, if you would like to speak next, I'm happy to hear that. Otherwise, I'll go to alphabetical order for all of the directors.
You
So,
got to put on your
Dr.
big
Busick,
boy
would you like to
britches
speak?
and use complete sentences.
Just say,
Order.
we shouldn't have to do this every quarter.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Thank you. All right. Well, Director Bouquet.
Okay, Bouquet.
Are we open for comment for this right now?
That's correct. On the
don't
motion
know
that
what it
Director
is.
Rosenthal just put
What
forward.
is the motion?
We have
We know what the
discussion for
motion
that.
is. We don't know what the fucking the
amendment.
amendment was that we're supposed to be like listening to. I don't know.
No comment question. Yes.
No comment because I don't
Okay,
understand
thank you.
it.
Director Broom.
And no questions or comments.
Thank you. Director Busick. It's back at you.
Madam Chair, yeah, I agree with the amendment of the motion itself, specifically the 1 year time frame, see how that goes and how everybody does with it. $50,000. Or we need to be careful, even though we're getting this CARES Act money and so forth. I'd like to just see us try this out. I think it's a fantastic idea, but I'd like to see us do it for a 1 year time frame and then see if we can keep it going after that. Thanks.
Do you think racism would
Thank
be
you.
gone in a
Director
year,
Catlin?
Dr. Alexander?
Nope.
Are we going to
Really?
keep? Is there a vaccine?
I also agree with the proposed amendment, and
Who you?
I am very, very interested to see how our General Manager, CEO, Deborah Johnson, is integrating
Who's the
this
lady who's making
into
really inappropriate
our
comments?
ordinary business practices, and I'm
Take your pick.
anxious to hear her plan. So I believe that whatever is undertaken by Deborah and her leadership can certainly be integrated into the board's activities. So I I agree with the amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Davidson.
Yes, Madam Chair. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Directors Lewis and Michelle and Bouquet for bringing the initial recommended action forward. I certainly would echo the sentiments of many that justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion are very important for us to be putting the work in on. Speaking as somebody who myself does need more work in this area, I very much appreciate Director Michelle's comment that this is a workshop of continuing work. In that vein, I do not support this amendment. I believe that it takes a commitment. We know that this board will be together for at least the next 2 years. I think we have a lot of work to do together, particularly as we do recover from a difficult time and recover from the pandemic. The very way in which we determine to spend the funds that we bring in for recovery, I think we have to be well educated and thoughtful about how those funds are spent, and I believe that this is a key part of that. So I do support the recommended action. I do not support the amendment. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield the floor.
Thank you, Director. Director Deschelle.
Madam Chair, I may go last just to address any other comments. Dr. Bob, that would be appreciated.
Absolutely, I'm happy to. Director Geisinger.
Is that allowed?
Yes, absolutely.
Great, thank you. First of all, I would join others in thanking Directors Lewis, Michelle, and Bouquet bringing this forward. I think it's a really important issue, important proposal, and led to a lot of thinking already by board members. I think that, I'll just speak sort of generally that as our chair mentioned, during the time of terrible inequity, the pandemic has laid bare the inequities. We need to deal with the history of that in our country, and the actions of last week are appalling. I would say that the numbers we saw in the memo, and I appreciate that, 46% of our employees are people of color. RTD is on the right road. We need to continue to move forward, and we need to be leading that. I don't think that, I will say that I do support the amendment. I do support the agenda item both. I don't think it's a reflection of difference in commitment to say that I think that some of us support the amendment and some of us are moving forward, wanting to make a bigger commitment. I hear our GM CEO talking about to look at RTD holistically. We have a lot of issues. We have layoffs with people that many of whom will be bringing back. People have taken salary cuts. Just a lot of pieces how people bring ridership back. Looking at lower fares, other issues that get into equity issues. I may well support, and I would expect probably to support 2 years and a higher number, but I'd like to see the plan, and I'd like to get it started, so I will support the amendment. Thanks.
Thank you. Director Sloan.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair.
Sure.
I will speak generally and then specifically to the amendment. But I was struck by how
Do we have an amendment yet?
nicely this fits with CEO and General Manager Deborah Johnson's topic of how RTD will invest federal stimulus funds. Specifically to frontline employees.
I don't have her picture.
And by extension, that demonstrates our current
Thank you.
respect
I love it.
for our diverse frontline
Valentine's
employees.
Day
And
drum.
by extension,
I
the writers.
out of the
So I really appreciate the efforts of Director Michelle
I
and
love it.
Bouquet
I love it. Thank you.
to bring this forward.
That's really a drawing.
Specifically towards the amendment, I know in government 2 years flies by in a blink of the eye, and a workshop is not a big commitment. So I don't support that aspect of the amendment, although I do like the
Did she just say she doesn't want a commitment?
director to solicit advice. So, in general, I will be voting against.
Die.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for my Valentine's
Director
Day.
Tisdale.
Thank you very much,
I
Madam
made
Chair.
one for Debbie too, but
I do
I broke
appreciate
it before I
very
could
much
even go
the
upstairs.
efforts by Directors Bouquet, Michelle,
No,
and
another
Lewis
little cup.
bringing this matter forward in the main motion, and particularly as so carefully recast in the actual motion as presented this evening by Director Michelle's efforts
That's right.
earlier
It's over
today.
my birthday.
I think
Nowhere near your birthday.
it is
Not even close to your birthday.
an extremely important issue that we must pay attention to and must provide leadership in. I would note regarding the amendment that there is nothing in the main motion as presented this evening and recast by Director Michelle into 3 specific action items that preclude the board doing a look back at the end of 1 year, should that be necessary. If it is so obvious at the end of the year that we want to change how we're doing it, we have the ability, the freedom, just as we do tonight, to make a change in it.
So if the end of the year, if we're still racist, we can cut the contract just like we did for Allied for damn near killing Rivera Stinnett. They should have fully killed him for what we were paying them.
And they're literally fucking brainstorming this amendment out loud right now. He's like, well, that wouldn't really work, but maybe if we did this.
When's the last time you were allowed to show up and do this, Dr. Beyonce?
Been a while.
Just going to workshop something in a meeting.
Just like kind of toy with it and see where it lands.
All we're talking about here is these people going through diversity.
Thank you,
training, right?
Director.
We're talking about
Whitmore.
diversity training, yes, baby.
But that's
That's it.
that's it.
That's it. Diversity training
Thank you, Madam Chair.
and inclusion.
At only the cost of $3,125 a workshop,
Apologize to
like
her.
a cheap training
I
session,
did. And I
an
apologize.
underpaid
I
one.
told her I would get to her after
Okay.
Director Rivera
And they're
Malpietti.
arguing about whether they have to do it 4 times or once.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
It's $25,000 over 2 years, so and 8 sessions, so that's a little over $3K a session, which is fucking nothing. That's paying somebody to do a lot of labor for a little pay.
Outside of just the training, I think they were talking about, looking at equity and policy and all of that, and so that money's not going far.
It's just when they try to say that $25,000 is a lot of money too. That's not good because they're gonna eventually land there by the end of this.
Yeah. Okay.
And Wilson, sir, I just don't want
I'm
to
sorry, I know what you're saying.
for one and
I understand
for 1 year type of time frame. I'm not.
He's like, why was this not a 2-minute conversation?
But for the sake of the record,
Because then Shontel Lewis would have been leading it and we can't let black women do that or something, right?
I think we
Oh no, that would be straight racist if we said it. So instead,
I truly look forward to interacting with the educated
It's like, we're going to correct the error.
we're going to correct the error. Alpha space.
So you're going to fire him. No, we're just going to correct the error. He won't get paid.
The workshop, and I appreciate the comments.
It doesn't behoove any of them to fix it right now because nobody's watching too.
Right.
When we started this,
If they had people saying that they're arguing about diversity training, it would be a good
This is boring. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's white people were arguing over education. It's the story of the American dream.
This could have been Shontel sending an email to everybody saying, hey, I think we should hire a diversity trainer quarterly at this cost. Let's fucking do it. And everybody just goes, sure. Like, it could have been that easy.
right? Could have been so beautiful, but then I couldn't hear my voice or see your hair, Vinny. It's amazing.
Be scared to get a haircut.
Her excuse to be in your presence, Beyonce.
What's going on with the agency as a whole, but that the people who are actually doing the work on the day-to-day basis.
People need to work.
I'm wondering if we ought to give some thought to including them in these workshops so that the lessons that
So
we
funny because this really could be a 30-second bit.
Yeah.
don't
I had an incident with my my daughter's pre-K. She's like at a bougie private Montessori pre-K, and the one thing I did, yeah, she wasn't until recently, but she's Latinx, and we had a little bit of problem with some implicit bias in their disciplinary actions, especially at a woke progressive school like hers. Like a lot of, she was getting written up for other kids leaving the school bleeding after, you know, playing on a playground, but she was coming home bloody without any, like, how did it even happen? Little things like that. And so, yeah, I was like, that's racist. And they were like, fuck, yes, it is. How do we do better? And they hired a really brilliant friend of mine, Dr. Tiffany Bowden, out of, I think she's in Michigan or California or Washington these days, somebody somewhere. And they hired her from an email immediately. And like a week later, they were building a better environment for her. So like, it could be that easy.
Question.
Wow.
Mr. Dr. Rosenthal, you have the floor.
I wish all white people were like that.
Oh yeah, it was not a white person administrator who made that decision to immediately hire the people either. Well, yes, very important note.
Figures.
Again, I'm just so delighted that we're having this opportunity to really credit to the three sponsors.
Some people have to work. I don't know that I can take a full day out to learn how to not be racist to the people I serve.
At this moment, you aren't speaking to any of the issues. I was just giving you the opportunity to address Director Williams' question directly. If you don't have a response to it, that's totally fine. I can go to the next director.
She's the goat, the goddess. So this is Dr. Queen. I just don't want you to be confused with the honorifics. This is Her Royal Highness Dr. Queen Beyonce Alexander, and this is Her Royal Highness.
Her question was. Oh, go ahead, Director Williams, if you'd like to repeat your question.
Person saying Director Williams, who's that?
Yes. That's the other Her Royal Highness, Queen Shontel.
Or do we have any interest in including the senior leadership team in this workshop?
I love how my daughter.
Is a great idea, but that is certainly something where we can ask, to the general manager Johnson as to also whether she believes that is something that she would find helpful and useful, since also part of this proposal.
If she didn't have a racist board, that'd be helpful.
To also participate in these workshops. So it's possible they may do a workshop in their department. It's possible that they may do workshops with the board. I just want to make sure that we are consulting with our general manager as to how that is done.
Thank you.
I'm open to it, but again, this is a dialogue with general manager.
Thank you so much. I might hold off from hearing from our general manager until we get back to the main motion, because I think it might be more appropriate there. And I'd like to give
Thank you.
Chair Rivera-Malpietti a chance to speak, as well as Director Cook, to your motion, Director Rosenthal. So Chair, if you may.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You know what? I, first of all, do want to absolutely say thank you to Director Lewis, Michelle, and Bouquet for bringing this forward. I also want to thank Director Rosenthal for bringing forward the amendment, because I think it really shows the incredible commitment this board has to equity. That's the first thing. The second thing I'd like to do is thank Director Lewis, Michelle, and Bouquet for reaching out to the general manager and talking to her about their vision and what they were thinking as they were moving forward. I want to commend you on the name Jedi. You really captured my attention and makes me realize how old I really am. But more than that, what I'd like to say is that I am in support of the original amendment. I think that it falls in line with our general manager's initial 120-day plan, of diversity and inclusion under phase 2. And I think that this is our opportunity to work together collaboratively to move this agency forward proactively and in an aggressive manner to show our inclusion that we do already and build on it. And if the board members,
4 hours of training, proactive and aggressive. You heard the white man.
it is always a good idea to
That's
touch
like, you know,
the communities that we
the
serve
amount of time I
and to
spend
learn.
maintaining a license I
It
don't
just
have.
has a lot of components to it that
I feel like they're like 2 steps shy of just buying everybody a copy of How to Be an Anti-Racist and having a book group.
White fragility.
Next amendment will be, can we all just read a book?
Actually, they all own it from back in March anyway. You can just finally pull it off of their, or May, they can finally just pull it off their bookcases.
Online quiz. Online quiz.
Online quizzes. There we go.
Thank you, Chair. And Director Cook,
cry.
I do apologize for overlooking you. I'm so sorry. You have the floor.
The next step is going to be a 30-minute
No
online
worries,
training
thank
with
you.
a
I actually
10-question
have a
quiz.
question for Bonnie
Pass that.
Snyder first, and if I may, Deborah Johnson second, because it does pertain to the amendment insofar as the topic of the question is included in the amendment.
Sure.
Okay?
I didn't hear who this was speaking.
I didn't either.
Bonnie Snyder.
I want to amend the question of the rule
Okay,
of the previous
yeah,
question.
this is for our general counsel. The financial impact, at the very end of the write-up, initiated item, says the financial impact of the Jedi workshops for the board of directors will not exceed $50,000. I understand that would likely be $25,000 over 1 year given the amendment proposal carried. But then it says the board of directors will solicit a new 2-year agreement. I assume that pertains to the facilitator consultants we're talking about hiring for these series of workshops, that the board of directors will solicit a new 2-year agreement no later than June 1, 2022. Because that's not actually part of the motion or of the amendment,
Listening to the idiot.
does that
They're the
still
worst.
hold? Because part
No,
of the
no,
write-up.
not the worst, but pretty bad.
They're pretty bad.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is General Counsel Melanie Snyder.
Go ahead, Melanie. Thank you.
So I would have to defer to the 3 directors who have initiated this action. I don't want to misstate what their intention is, and I understand the director Shell took the lead in crafting the actual motion, so I want to make sure that
Is being elected to the RTD Board something that confers upon you an honorific every time you're mentioned?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, or actually.
Yeah, so they're like,
You want to run?
no.
A motion to amend.
I've been to board of directors meetings and they don't even call each other director.
I know this is, yeah. Yeah. I mean, Dr. Queen Beyonce deserves the honorific doctor.
Yeah.
I don't know if all these people need to be director.
You have the floor.
You just take their title away from them. A couple thousand votes is all it takes.
Not being that much. It's so sad.
True.
Ugh.
When your motion to amend was to change some of the wording and delete other parts throughout the write-up, I understood that to mean one thing, that when the general counsel restricted your amendment to the actual motion, it leaves open to me the question of whether we are then, because the write-up is providing for soliciting a new 2-year agreement, that will follow on the heels of the 1 year that you have identified, or was it your intention not to include this?
So, my intention is to not just change the contract terms from 2 year to 1 year and from 6,000 to 25,000.
Is there a contract?
There are also, as you indicated, there are other changes which I believe strengthen this proposal, and I would hope that I could also make those suggested changes as well. And of course, those are not necessarily connected to the motion itself. Some of them are just changes to the text that I believe strengthen it and make it more in tune with Jedi principles.
So so we're making amendments to a proposition that has not been completed. And we're amending a contract that hasn't been written. Is that kind of?
I think they're increasing the budget while they do it, though. I think that they're taking all of the funds from it and trying to and condensing it. Which, if you can tack onto the end of the amendment that with that condensed budget, that 1 year review could auto renew the contract for another year or kick it, like that seems acceptable. Sure, give the program more money and resources.
Okay, if it's an auto renewal and not like a possible cancellation. I guess that was one thing that wasn't clear to me.
No, I'm saying it with the addition of that is not there now. Yeah, I'm saying like if they added something like that on it, that like increase the budget and give it a year-end review, because obviously they'll need to do another year and then another year and then another year. It doesn't really end.
The contract they talked about at city council last week.
Oh, yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
People always want generational change to be so immediate.
Okay, so pertains to the question was it has to do with the initial motion that is carried forward in the amendment that is proposed by Director Rosenthal. And then I understand that there have been some conversations about your thoughts, your plans already to introduce a Jedi or a similar program as this Jedi. But I haven't, it would be nice to have some input from General Manager Johnson about that, whether this is in keeping with what you're planning, whether you have any comment or concerns about the way that it's being carried forward. It will be added information for me to know that you're fine with that third item, which calls for the comprehensive plan for the agency as a whole. That's one part of that question. The second thing is, I understood that the original thought in the motion presented by the three directors was to bring back that plan along with the proposed budget. Is that also the case?
Madam Chair, this is Deborah Johnson, General Manager, CEO.
Proceed. Thank you.
If I may.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Point of
Stab with
clarification,
chopsticks.
in relationship to Director Cook's question, my comments will be attributed to the original document presented for board consideration.
Okay.
All right. With that as a backdrop, I wanted to ensure that everyone was aware. I did engage in a conversation with Director Lewis, but prior to getting into that, I do want to clarify that there was a comment, I believe, made by Director Sloan earlier as relates to the stimulus money and perhaps utilizing that to fund this initiative. I'd be remiss in stating that the bill text is very clear as to what the purpose of those stimulus dollars are for, and that is solely for transportation purposes and retaining frontline employees and other employees that are critical to providing transit service delivery. So I just wanted to ensure that everybody was cognizant of that fact. Secondly, as I was saying, I did have an opportunity to engage with Director Lewis, and please know that I am a fervent believer of the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I embrace the whole concept as I believe diversity of thought and demographics basically enables us to be a better society and community holistically. With that as a backdrop, I support the workshops as relates to what I intend to do. I want to qualify. There is no way, no shape, nor form this could be done in 120 days. It would just be an exercise in futility. This is something that we need to consider embracing into the organization so it's interwoven and becomes part of the cultural fabric within the regional transportation district for all of its employees, those customers, the general populace as a whole. So with that, I would say my perspective, as I shared with Director Lewis and also Director Deschelle, is that I support the first step going forward as it relates to workshops. We need to ensure that we all have an understanding of what this entails. I do not support just going with something that doesn't have a strategic focus, because I am deeply concerned that it will be something that falls to the wayside. So on the face of it, I support the workshop as it relates
to any effort that I would put forward in a comprehensive fashion. I come with the notion that we need to have a strategic focus, we need to create alignment, and whatever those successful outcomes are that we agree collectively as a board of directors, with me being your employee, as well as the team that I lead, then we would need to do that in earnest with alignment. So when we're making decisions about implementing a pilot fare, that we are taking into consideration the whole aspect of justice, diversity, and inclusion with that decision. So on the face of it, I support the workshops. I believe that is the first step to orienting everyone to the concept of what it actually is and what it means for us to be a better society, and more specifically as it relates to our goal in being people in the people business and delivering equitable services to those that most need it. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present my viewpoint. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Madam Chair,
Yes, I'm not sure who this is.
this is Director Sloan.
Oh, thank you, Director Sloan. Please proceed.
Madam Chair, this is Director Sloan.
Please proceed.
Oh, thank you. I would just like to clarify my comment, because I did not mean taking federal money with restrictions and putting it toward these workshops. I was just noting the synergy between the goal of bringing back our diverse employees, our frontline employees, to serve better our diverse ridership. So I was noting the intent is the same, not just the investment should be. I appreciate the chance to clarify that. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you so much, Director Sloan. We do appreciate it. At this time, if there are no other comments, if you might chime in, I'm happy to take a final. I'm sorry?
They've talked my computer into an energy deficit.
Director Rosenthal, quick question for you for the motion. And so I believe it was a director who asked earlier about what is really contained in the motion. And there is an issue regarding the word commit. So committing directors to bring up Jedi concept in their telephone town hall.
Typical man doesn't want the word commit in there.
But I also hope to make
That had to be said.
so whatever happens to the motion in regards to, the amendment to the motion, that is also something that I hope to amend later when we do discuss the actual text
Amendment.
of the agenda item.
Say amendment one more time.
Or solve, sort of new issue, because that part may or may not pass with the amendment to the motion. So in other words, there's more concepts.
What?
Possible amendment to the text of the agenda item that are not that may or may not be included in the motion itself.
So
I want to make sure to bring those up.
So the motion that I have on the floor currently was put forth by you, Director Rosenthal, and it reads, and you can correct me because I want to make sure I have it correctly. That's what we'll be voting on shortly. And that's what the discussion has been about thus far. And so it is recommended by the RTD Board of Directors, Louis Deschelle, Bouquet, that the RTD Board of Directors conducts quarterly Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Jedi workshop for
We need a Jedi.
at least 1 year.
We really need a Jedi.
Facilitated by
Ren,
an
maybe?
outside consultant or a facilitator at cost not to exceed $25,000 for 1 year.
Oh my God.
2, encourages Jedi feedback for constituents during telephone town halls. And 3, charges the general manager CEO to a comprehensive plan for Jedi workshop throughout the agency. That's the motion I have currently on the floor. That's the motion that's been in discussion, and that's the motion that I'm going to call for a vote. So without further discussion, thank you. Without further discussion, the motion that I have on the floor, I just read, and so I'd like to call this for a vote. So Director Bunke?
I am not in favor of the current motion. I'm in favor of the original, so I'm a no.
Thank you. Director Broom?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thank
Director
you.
Music?
I love her so much.
Thank you. Director Catlin?
Yes.
Director Cook?
Yes.
Dr. Davison? Dr. Davison?
You fell asleep.
Running back from the bathroom right now.
I will come back to you. Director Michelle? Director Davison?
Yes, sorry. I had
Okay.
an audio problem. I am a no.
It's in the
I'm
bathroom.
familiar with those. Director Michelle?
I'm a no.
Dr. Geisinger?
Yes.
Director Lewis? I'm a no. Director Rosenthal?
Yes.
How many is
Director
that?
Sloan?
Is that 8?
No on the amendment.
Thank you so much. Director Tizza?
No on
Thank you. Director Whitmore?
no.
Fuck you.
Director Williams?
I guess I'm gonna vote no on the amendment. I was gonna vote yes, but I guess I'm gonna vote no after hearing the discussion.
Director, or Chair Rivera Malpiedi?
No.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
That's 10 no's.
Sorry. 4 yeses, 9 no's. The no's have it. The motion fails. So that will take us back to the original motion. And so I'll read.
Madam Chair, I also have another amendment.
Do you?
Okay. Madam Chair, that's only 13 votes. Yes, I was just gonna make the correction.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Barbara.
The correct vote is 10 no's and 5 yeses. And it passes 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you're absolutely right. Thank you so much.
I believe it failed.
It fails.
It failed.
It does. So I'm sorry, I did miss a vote here. So we have 4 yeses, 10 no's, and the motion fails.
Right,
Is that
Rebecca?
Hey, Rebecca.
So sorry.
Everybody go donate to Running With My Girls right now. I'm sure that Rebecca can throw a bit.ly link into the chat for us.
Back to the main motion. So I will read the main motion again. It is recommended by RTD Directors Lewis, Deschelle, and Bouquet that the Board of Directors conducts quarterly Justice, Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion (JEDI) workshops for at least 2 years, facilitated by an outside consultant or facilitator at a cost not to exceed $50,000 over 2 years. 2, commits to soliciting JEDI feedback for constituents during the telephone town halls. And 3, charges the general manager CEO to create a comprehensive plan for JEDI work throughout the agency. At this time, I will call on directors in alphabetical order. I will actually begin with Director Deschelle, if you'd like to speak to this.
And I had misheard the original reading, so it didn't increase the budget. It cut it in half with everything else from that $50K.
First, thank you all for a healthy discussion on the first amendment. I wanted to make sure that I addressed a couple areas of big different ambiguity that may exist within the motion that were brought up in discussion. The first has to do with including SLTs in the workshops. They were intentionally omitted, not because of
don't want them there
Because they suck.
the drafters believe that including SLG for a board resolution would be inappropriate for something like this.
Inappropriate.
Whether
This is his first meeting, right? He's brand new. So excited.
Little baby face.
Eager.
The original motion to present a comprehensive plan is
So you've been smoking weed this whole time, Vinny, and you have a better idea of what's going on than I do. I just really, I feel like that needs to be said.
Oh, yeah, I went to college for going to city council meetings. That's all journalism school is.
I mean, I smoked a lot of weed in college, but like
Years of practice.
I'm not a functional human. When love it, yes, yes, yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Let's make that full screen for a minute. Yeah, do it
I
again.
will call directors in alphabetical order for the discussion on the main motion, which I read just a bit ago. And so, Director, okay?
Madam Chair, this is Director Sloan again.
Hi, Director
I
Sloan.
believe there was another amendment that Director Rosenthal wanted to propose.
What? There wasn't a first.
Rosenthal, did I miss one? I'm sorry if I did.
No worries at all. So, in regard to the agenda item, I think there's just a couple things that I
Bringing
would
in the
like to
garbage.
inserted if possible, and hopefully earn the support from fellow board members. And one is that the markup that I did on page 1, with this insert paragraph. And what I wanted to do is to, in the context of Jedi concept, see how is RTD doing now? And so this paragraph.
Can we do a Jedi mind trick?
Share if you wish.
Just say yes.
So, am I able to read it at this time?
Sure.
Where it is inserted in the background?
Sure. Go ahead, please.
Oh, glorious Dr. Queen Beyonce, I apologize. This was such a, I am glad you're here and always grateful.
My proposal, and for the board members have it kind of at an advantage. So RTD has made progress in hiring, whereby approximately 39% of writers are people of color, the attachment number 3, your memo, and approximately 46% of employees are people of color, attachment number 5. Nevertheless, efforts need to continue on Jedi to ensure that employees are heard, mentored, promoted, and retained in order to foster an optimal work environment.
You could do that by not beating your riders nearly to death. It's helpful.
Okay. And then the only other change that I would suggest and ask is under the discussion item on page 2, after the second paragraph, it would say the board will also work with the general manager, CEO, to review the mission, and vision of RTD in order to include Jedi where appropriate.
Okay. So are those your amendments?
And
Go ahead.
the two that I hope to basically, I ask that the board consider this as one amendment.
Okay. So Paul, if you could you send that maybe to the board so that that folks have access to that specific language, or did you already do so?
I'm dying, guys. I'm dying.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. So I already confirmed that was sent this morning at 5 in the morning by Ms. McManus. She's the early riser in the job. The board member should have this already.
Okay.
Point of order.
Sure, Director Tisdale, please. Thank you.
I'm just
Thank
saying,
you very much, Madam Chair.
if Candy Statebaka did this, they'd be stringing her upside down at the city council.
The work done by all, and particularly by.
Yeah, this did all start with Shontel reminding everybody that they'd had this text for days and had the opportunity to be able to respond and send things. And like, that was literally how she set up the presentation of this meeting too. Important to remember that.
Motion on recommended actions
doesn't that guy just look like someone who takes the RTD? When you think of the RTD, Dr. Beyonce, is that the face you think of? And is that why the number of Black people on the RTD is decreasing?
That right there.
That dude hasn't. He hasn't rated them bus since the last time he cut a ribbon on one.
I wonder if that's like a question for RTD directors. Like, when is the last time you used public transportation?
I mean, that was what put Shontel on my radar way originally, other than Rebecca and her phone running with my girls, was her I ride the bus campaign. I was like, damn, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, why not? That's the qualifier, first qualifier.
Sure, Director Rosenthal.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Director Goodell. Chalk it up to a rookie sort of amendment. Please understand that there was, when I was discussing this with other members, board members, over the past couple days, I believe there was a lot of confusion as to what the procedure was tonight.
Help me out. Did you grab the water and the
Was
pictures
this document
of my
policy? Was this document background? Was this document directing board members and RTD leadership? And so please understand that my efforts to edit and improve, in my view, this document was in that vein. So and this may need more. So I have a question for Ms. Snyder, our general counsel. Is that your understanding as well, that this document is just background and what really carries through is the motion itself?
Madam Chair, this is Melanie Snyder.
Please, Melanie, proceed.
So, yes, thank you. So, yes, Director Shontel is right that the board operates in a fashion via motion that are made. I think where the confusion might have arisen was the fact that the prior original
I think this is Messenger.
included in the board.
She definitely looks like someone who complains about the rising cost of Uber.
And so I think that's why, perhaps for, adjustment to the actual body of the document.
What surge rates, though?
Right.
On the floor, not referencing the plan below that's descripted or described in the actual board report. That just sort of went by the wayside. So, Director Shontel is right. There's really not. There's not a mechanism right now for you to do the adjustment, the background, and description in the board report or discussion in the board report.
Your water?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Snyder. Appreciate that.
Pictures, and I put them in.
So, Director Rosenthal, with that in mind and with the wisdom.
In that vein, Madam Chair,
Yes, please.
my vote.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. Proceed.
So with that in mind, thank you. I will withdraw that amendment, that motion for an amendment because it's not a valid motion.
Everybody, let's just do oopsies on the last
Thank you,
45
Director
minutes.
Rosenthal. I
Oopsie
do
doodle.
appreciate that. So I will proceed.
It's a good thing to see the
I'm
big
not
buck,
sure if we're in
Shontel.
discussion or not. So I will just ask if there's any discussion on the main motion that I read.
Do we all
previously.
stick to the script?
I will just quickly go through directors, and then
Stick to
we'll
the
put this
paper.
up for a vote. So Director Bouquet, do you have any, would you like, the floor is yours. Thank you. Director Brew. Thank you. Director Busick.
We're not sure if he's a racist yet. We're going to find out.
Sure.
I want to thank Director Michelle. He was my contact on his and reached out to me several times because I had a lot of questions. And then just for future reference, I know we're not using the language of the body of the report itself, but it might be helpful in the future if when these things are brought forward, they're more clear at the inception.
Right there.
And not just complete with the vernacular of the moment, but actually
She's
how
not talking right now.
language that is easy to understand and make sense. For example, the original one talked about the plan.
Thank you, Director Busick. Director Catlin.
Gatlin.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And thank you, Director Busick, for your points. I was a little bit confused as well, which is why I made a comment about wanting to understand our general manager's perspective. That being said, I think Jedi is a very good concept, and as Dr. Davidson said, we're constantly learning and constantly growing, and it's an effort that is ongoing. So I appreciate all the work that's gone into this, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Holding up a picture of
Director
one of
Cook.
because I got some and he got some.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
And this is going to be our just Animal Crossing. This is Dr. Alexander. Kid Animal Crossing.
And gratitude for bringing this forward. I think it'll be really helpful, especially as far as the workshops are concerned. And appreciate Director Deshell's efforts to reach out and work with us and to clarify the motion.
You can say hi.
So that we're clear about what we're doing. So thank you for that. I would wonder if, given Deborah Johnson's comments about the third item, if there are, if it wouldn't help to get some idea of get feedback from her in the next 2 weeks about that third item, because she's the one that's going to be charged with doing that. She perhaps already has. So if there are drastic changes or additions or whatnot to that item, hearing that from staff, and I hope we can make that request, Madam Chair, but also those comments. Thank you.
Thank you. If I may,
We're
we've
2
had-
hours into a meeting that could have taken 30
plenty of
seconds.
conversations with General Manager Johnson, and our intention is absolutely not only to have her comments on this, but to co-create the plan so that it is not only comprehensive, but it also aligns with the vision that she lays out for the agency. And so the answer to your question is absolutely yes. I've spoken with Chair Rivera-Malpietti as well as General Manager Johnson, and that is indeed the next steps.
Oh my God. What is the problem? Why can't you just
Sure. Did you have any other
agree?
questions?
What questions could you possibly freaking have?
Clarifying that I assume that
I did. You can't say it though.
Explicit, but in terms of the framing of the
Yeah, and you're not
item
supposed
on that
to.
motion, I
Neither
think
one of you. Thank you.
any suggestions the staff has that most directly concerns everyone. Thank you.
Sure, and I'm happy to open the floor to General Manager Johnson if she'd like to speak to that.
No, sorry, I've got time for the board action.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
To my bed, please.
Director Davison.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd just like to thank everybody for the thoughtful discussion. It's clear to me that we're all aligned around the intent and where we're going with this.
Are you
look
though?
forward to working with all of you and to learning with all of you. And once again, thank you, sponsors, for bringing this forward. No further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Deshell, I'll save you for last, if you don't mind. Director Geisinger.
Oh my God.
Thank you. I think I made most of my comments earlier. I am an enthusiastic supporter, and I know some people were talking with Director Michelle, but I really appreciate Director reaching out to Director Lewis and answering questions and explaining in advance. And thanks for all your work.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Director Rosenthal.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and also a great big thank you to Directors Michelle and Madam Chair and Director Lewis. Both of you have had several discussions on this.
I get it. Just because I'm bored right now doesn't mean we all have to be. So get out that box. I love you.
We also had
Because
tonight
it's there.
was really
Why'd you open
incredible.
that? Girl, you need to brush your teeth. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
The facts of this board supporting
Office.
this valuable move that I believe that
It's not bad. Not bad. I just don't want you brushing your teeth on the floor. or playing on those things that'll get you hurt. Yeah, you can take them for Will, yes.
I regret Director Brigade not yet had a chance to chat with you before discussing the Jedi concept with you. They said this has been a very valuable discussion up to now, and will certainly add to all the different workshops that we have coming up. So,
Vinny, you nailed it. RTD, really terrible decision makers.
Yeah, this isn't a hard decision to make.
Whoa.
It's like they're acting like they're taking real actual action steps here too. Like they're not debating any real great cause. Like literally, this is should we start to address the issue? I don't know. Let's amend that idea, and like it's wild.
How much can we avoid it?
Director Tisdale.
Maybe if we talk around it, it'll just go away.
You're going to need more than the force.
Thank you, Director
Be dealing
Tisdale.
with this.
Director Whitmore.
Oh my God. What do you have to say? What, Whitmore?
Darn it, Tisdale, I was going to use that line.
I'm so sorry. Take a Star Wars joke. I'm waiting 2 hours to get a Star Wars joke.
I like Director Geisinger has many conversations, and the preparation work that the three of you completed is admirable, and I think that's why, as Tisdale would say, the force is with us on this one, so I'll be supporting the motion. Thank you.
There's your Star Wars reference.
Director Williams.
Okay, you take that over there. It's over there. I've been infiltrated.
I echo everybody else in favor, and I look forward to that.
Thank you. Madam Chair?
Breaking news. Today, blah, 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 blah.
It's basically what we're listening
this
to.
moment to say, the
I think your child just did better.
I think so, yeah.
We're so inclusive in talking to all of
We
us.
still don't have an amendment. We still don't know what we're doing.
Making sure that they dotted their I's and crossed their T's, that they value united.
This is why we say it's black lid or it's
I
bold.
want to thank you, Director Rosenthal, for
But sometimes even when it's black lid, they manage to turn it into bold.
well. I think that diversity, equity, inclusion, justice are very complex issues. And I look so forward to working with all of you on this. I think it's an exciting time for our
I think black death is terrible. That's why I ran my kids to cloth undies.
Look at this.
These things are so important. I'm going to keep voting no.
National organization is looking on this.
But I'm
well.
keeping the kids to cloth undies on because Black Lives Matter.
Across the country.
But I'm scared of Black Power.
Enthusiastically supporting this. Thank you.
Thank you.
We love Miss Iris, don't we?
And Director.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I want to take the time to thank Director McKay and specifically you, Madam Chair, for not only your work being a partner in helping get this done, but your work over the past 6 years.
As far as they're concerned, Black people mean gummies for dinner. It's like the best day ever when they walk through the door, like, oh my gosh. It is so boring.
I'm such a nerd. I think it's interesting.
It's interesting for all the wrong reasons.
That's very true.
Interesting for the boring reasons.
They want it to be boring.
Okay, Captain Under.
Okay. Thanks, Director Deschelle. And before I call the vote, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the directors for working collaboratively with me
Instead of just shutting me down.
on this very important work. And more importantly, I'd like to thank the chair for her work and her collaboration and bringing us together with the general manager. And the many of you who I probably sent text messages to, saying, I'm pretty sure you're tired of me calling you. And so thank you for your patience in that regard.
I hate your coworkers,
This is an
Shontel.
exciting time for me as an agency as I truly believe in the work of equity and the importance of equity, the importance of collaboration as we are moving throughout this journey together. As I know it's not an easy one,
No,
but
it's almost done.
as we are moving together, I think it makes it easier upon all of us. When I ran for office, it was so important to me that love and humanity was at the center of not only my heart, but the center of my campaign. And I still hold true to that. And so I look forward to leading with all of you from a place of love and shared humanity and our collective humanity, because I truly think that's what brings us together and not polarizes us any more than we currently are as a country. And it's quite sad to see. And so I just wanted to share some words. And with that, I will call for a vote on the main motion.
She's going to be your friend.
So Director Bouquet.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I am an absolute yes on this.
Thank you. Director Broom.
No.
Thank you. Director Busick.
Yes.
Okay. Don't hate you yet. Keep going.
Thank you. Director Catlin.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Director Cook.
Yes.
Thank you. Director Davidson.
Yes.
5. No,
Director
3.
Michelle.
3 more.
I am a yes, and also I think the staff was not included earlier, just like possible without you guys helping. So that it got this in front of us in a great way. You know, so thank you and a yes.
Thank you so much. Director Geisinger.
2 more.
Yes.
Who's the racist that's going to say no? That's 7.
And Director Lewis, I am a yes. Director Rosenthal.
That's 8. That passes.
Mm-hmm. Now we get everybody on the record.
Thank you.
Now we get amendments. Real ones.
Yes.
Real announcements.
Thank you. Director Whitmore.
Mom, what's the
Yeah. I think it's just
Really, credit card, put it down, please.
Can I?
lived in Japan.
I'm sorry, Director. It's been a long day. Thank you, Director Whitmore. Director Tisdale.
yes, ma'am. Thank you. I am a yes vote on the motion.
Thank you. Blame my head and not my heart. Director Williams.
I am a yes.
There's going to be one lone no vote at this point.
Like
I
douchebag.
would just say quite a good speed. Yes.
Yep.
I actually do understand that.
And that was Broom.
So
It was the B name, number 2. The
yes,
second vote.
the one being Director Broom. The motion
This guy.
passes.
Yeah, this
Oh,
motherfucker.
no. Yeah. That's
Thank
the
you all.
racist. We found him. So it's like you play
Thank you
amongst
all
us.
for the
We found the
conversation,
racist. It's
dialogue,
him.
and the opportunity to work
Oh, wait a-
collaboratively.
we
I
found
look
the
forward
imposter
to working in
among
partnership
us.
That's
with our
right.
chair and our general
And he's the
manager. and
imposter.
the
He is the
co-signers on
imposter,
this,
and we're going to get rid of him.
to action,
Not with
to
like
move
murder,
this
but like we're
forward,
going
as
to
I
get him
think
voted
it's a
out.
really important time
Murder's
to
illegal, and we don't do that.
prioritize justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion. We do not have any additional
Like,
updates on our agenda this afternoon or
However,
evening,
making
as
us
well as no
We're not going to throw him into space. No, we're just going to take away his job. Okay.
Hearing none,
Have you played Among Us
the
yet?
next meeting of the Rights Committee
I
will
played
take
Among Us, and it's
place on
very
April 6,
fun.
2020.
Iris brought that into our home, and now
Seeing no
everyone's
other
addicted.
discussion,
That's
I
not good.
would like to entertain a motion to adjourn.
That's the music from it. Okay.
So moved, Rivera Malpieri.
A second.
Almost done.
Director Williams, second.
Thank you. This meeting is adjourned at 7:26 p.m.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Okay. First of all, I've got to thank y'all for loving Shontel as much as I do, and for answering this call when I was like, did he just say he don't know he's being live?
Yeah, you're saying I didn't know this was live today. That's why everybody changed their votes suddenly. They're like, fuck, there's people listening.
Crazy that. Thank God for my aid.
I can't say out loud that I hate diversity training.
Because why would you say that?
Yeah.
You might be racist.
This man was just a lone no vote on a bill to implement justice, equity, diversity, inclusivity workshops at low cost at 3 point at RTD.
Oh my God. Let me see. Okay, you go get something. I want to see if you want to come say hi. Want to hop on the screen and say hi? You scared the board. They flipped. Yay. You want to come say hi? Oh my God, Shontel, come talk to us, please. I'm sending you the link right now.
Well, that'd be so much fun. Oh.
Yay, we did it. We scared the board.
Are you done yet?
Almost. Our work is never quite finished, but telling you what, we're gonna snuggle. It's gonna happen. I just
You
need
said we can have ice cream.
and that is gonna happen too, but you gotta go downstairs and remind Daddy that he's gotta go get in the car.
I want ice cream.
Ice
cream.
Yes.
Ice cream for Jetta.
Yes. It's the only way to do it.
This is weird because I had a totally different energy coming into this, and now I'm like, oh, we won. Check that out, y'all.
Right?
Can RJ have ice cream too?
Yes, everyone's having ice cream.
Everyone gets ice cream.
Everybody's getting ice cream. Yeah.
What's this?
But what? Okay, that's something your daddy gave me for good luck a long time ago. These are my clients. These are my friends.
Hi, MK's clients.
Okay. Oh no. Put the okay. I put the. You're training. I know that's really cute.
Where were you when you looked like this?
Where? That's Japan. I was living in Japan.
This is what she looked like when she was living in Japan.
I was young. Many moons ago. All right, take careful. Those are heavy. Put them down. Make sure your brother don't touch this thing.
Okay.
Oh my God. We just shut the door so I don't have to hear the screams when he drops it on his foot. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
That was the thing. It was a thing that took 2.5 hours. Like, again, I'm sorry to cut into your Animal Crossing time yet again. Thank you for being here, but we flipped them.
Yeah.
I mean, you think like this is civic engagement. You got to show up and watch. And as long as you're not at the Capitol on inauguration today, they will be less racist.
Yeah, let's avoid the Capitol on inauguration day, everybody.
I know. Iris right now still says she wants to go, and I'm like, my fear is this. I mean, she's a Black independent organizer. She wants to do this. I'm going to back her to the hilt. But I'm like, the thing I'm thankful for is that the coolers of Molotov cocktails that were found at the Capitol in D.C. on the 6th could only be attributed to one group because the other stayed home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the point I'm making. Like, when you know that they're going to be out for action, could we kind of, I mean, I don't want to tell everyone to stay home, but this is why I'm like not running out to fight them, because, well, then you get the both sides and well, we don't know who the Molotov cocktails belong to. And there was so much chaos. I mean, it's kind of all obvious right now. Not that they're going to do anything about it, but at least they can't stick us with it.
Right.
Plus, like when I mean, the leftists, we love our republic, we love our democracy, sure, but also when have we ever like been the ones to stand in the way of somebody angry at the government? Like, it's not really our duty to head down there and stand between the mob and the poor building. Like, we get to watch. And
yeah, exactly.
Rather save my energy for things like this.
Mm-hmm. Do some real work.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing time.
Now some racists are going to have to sit through a whole weekend on their own time of diversity training. It's the greatest thing ever. Are your fingernails painted, Vinny? I gotta ask. Are your fingernails painted, Vin?
They are, yes, generally, but never freshly ever.
Okay, RJ. Sorry, my son paints his too.
I
So I
painted
wanted to-
mine.
Yeah, there he is. Sorry.
Well, I
Yeah.
made purple and pink, but the pinkies are pink, the rest are purple, but they're washing out. Oh, because they've been in the bath too much.
They've not been in the bath too much.
Mine are black and yellow right now, but they're washing out too. And about 10 years ago, I decided to lean into the aesthetic. So it's just, the half-done nails always there.
Love it. I love it. Okay, so boys do get to paint it. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, absolutely. I wear eyeliner too. I didn't have time to put it on.
Yay! Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Anyway, sorry, I just noticed that. It made me really happy. Yeah. All right. Yes. Great. All right. This is
What
about
did you paint your nails?
Say it one more time.
What color, I mean? What color did you paint your nails?
Mine are black and yellow, but the yellow looks really funky as it fades, I have to admit, and it just kind of makes me look like my fingers around it. Purple is a way better color. I have a jar of purple that I haven't done in a while.
This has been Nail Talk with MK.
Yeah, right? There it is. Immediately just fold into having that conversation.
Okay, it's going to be over in a minute. It's over. The stream's going to end. On that note,
Yeah.
I made it. Stop now, please. Please stop. I can't hear anything. All right, sorry. Thanks, you guys. This is before this gets further out of control. Appreciate you. We did good stuff today. This is amazing. Kind of like your fingernails. Ice cream for everyone. Woohoo!
Yep.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for everybody's time. This was great.
Yep. See y'all soon.
Hopefully for something more fun.
Pickleball.
Pickleball. My God, you just had to go there. No more words should be spoken.